So, what exactly does one do with 2 days in Cleveland? Yeah, I'm talking about Cleveland, Ohio. We all know this city is typically known for sports losses, gloomy weather, and Drew Carey. But no shade, because I love that show. But when my recent collab trip landed me here, I finally had a chance to see what makes Cleveland rock. Come with me behind the scenes to check it out. When I landed at the airport, I wanted to save some taxi money, so I took public transportation. It was straightforward and only about $2.50. It did smell a little funny though, but it's a train. So, hey, I'm on a train and I think I'm on here for about 30 minutes or so, and then it should be like a 10-minute walk to my hotel. Ah, this is where you swipe your card. Good thing I did not toss that out. It's the way I was really about to throw away that ticket because I was like, well, I guess they're not checking. And then look. This station's kind of cute. It's like a mall. Okay. Downtown Cleveland's kind of cute or whatever. Hi. I'll actually probably be back down in a minute after my step away. The brand put me up nice at the Kimpton Social downtown, and I loved the room. It was on the same floor as the gym, and it had a record player, noise machine, full kitchen, washer and dryer, things I definitely wasn't gonna pay for myself. I didn't have any plans for my arrival day, so I basically grabbed some food at the restaurant downstairs and relaxed in my room. Then it was time for bed. I started off the next day with a boat ride on Lake Erie, or I guess it was more of a boat drive, because they really handed me the keys and were like, all right, have fun. And this is actually terrifying. Like, they really just put me behind the wheel of a boat and said, go. And so, wow. Terrifying. Quite. I'm not gonna lie, I was shook, y'all. I had absolutely never done this before, but I'm down to try most things once. It took about 20-30 minutes for me to feel comfortable, but I got into a groove. It was cool. I imagine it would have been even more fun though with some friends, music, drinks, all that. All right, I did it. I didn't crash into anyone's boat, so I think that that's a win. After that, I got some food and some enhanced mocktails at this woman-owned cafe called Verbena. And then I ran over to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which apparently was designed by the same architect who designed the Louvre. They had an SNL exhibit going on that was showcasing the history of its musical acts, but I was surprised to find out it was more than a museum because I fully expected to just see plaques on walls about great musicians. And it definitely did give American Music History Museum, but then it was also really interactive. I was playing electric guitar, poorly, but I tried, and making beats. Listen. Come on now, don't sleep on me. After all that, I was so tired, but I still had a couple more stops to make. Just trying to push myself. It's really only 6. It's really not even that late. I really need to not waste my time. I'm about to check out the Takashi Murakami exhibit. After a quick change, I went to the Cleveland Museum of Art to see the Takashi Murakami exhibit. And don't hate me, anime and manga fans, but I was not very familiar with Takashi before coming, but I did appreciate all the colorful and quirky details. When I got there, they gave me a trading card that corresponds with one of the art pieces, so now I also have a cute little souvenir. When I finished at the exhibit, I got some food at the Marble Room. It's this steakhouse inside of a former bank in Cleveland's first steel frame skyscraper. The food was expensive, so I didn't order much, but it was good. As you can see, I am in bed. I will be hitting no club, no bar. I'm tired and I got a stomachache. The next day was Juneteenth, so I went to the African American Cultural Garden to celebrate. The monument that's supposed to be the main focal point at the African American Cultural Garden is unfinished, though. Representatives told me that they still need a couple $1 million to complete it after fighting really hard to get it in the first place. And this is supposed to represent the door of no return. And then they want to complete it to look like this in the end. And each portion is symbolic to African American history. Imagine walking through that door and leaving behind everything. So it started pouring rain right as I was about to leave, and yeah, I don't know if Cleveland's beating the bad weather allegations with that one. I've never been this soaked in an Uber before. I'm so sorry. Well, at least you got your blanket laid out here. I was kind of over the day after that, so I just got some lunch at this restaurant called Slyman's to try the famous Polish boy sandwich. And it was alright. It was a little too much sauce for me, but it was fine. Okay, I am rested and no longer miserable, so I'm gonna head out to a soul food restaurant that I've been hearing about, and I'm gonna go, I think, to it's an arcade or a bowling alley. Like one of those places where you can do a bunch of things. And check that out. Let's do it. Now, one of my followers told me to check out this Black-owned restaurant called Zanzibar. And y'all, it was the best soul food I have had in years. And the staff was so friendly. I had to try their Kool-Aid too, and look how much they give you. They even let me take home my Kool-Aid in a mason jar. I guess they do this all the time. I stepped in a questionable puddle while recording that, and then I had to go wash my feet. But after that, I went to a neighborhood called Ohio City to check out a spot called Pinn's Mechanical Company. Apparently, it's popular for having unique pinball machines, but I don't know nothing about that, so I'll let y'all decide. They're also known for duck pin bowling, which I'd never played before, but I could definitely see why people like it. The balls are a lot lighter, and you get 3 tries. I only played one game because solo bowling is kind of boring. And then I went to an area called Tremont and stumbled into an amateur comedy show.
Nah, my mom made poverty so fun, man. Like, me and my mom used to share a bed growing up. And some of y'all don't understand that, but the grandparents from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory definitely do. Yeah.
And then I strolled around to see how the Clevelanders are living. The architecture of this house is super interesting. Huh. Like, is it a house? Very interesting. The next day, I went to another Black-owned restaurant called Cleveland Breakfast Club, because I just had to make sure I went to at least one more before I left. I cannot wait to get into this. Cheddar biscuit, some potatoes, all mixed up there. I was gonna get grits, but I was like, let me try something different. It's a cheesesteak omelet. And then that was that. 48 hours in Cleveland. I'd say Cleveland is definitely a nice little weekend getaway. Now, the most fun things to do are outside of the downtown area, but it's definitely worth a visit.